If your business is standstill, if your life is standstill, if you think the relationships are not where you want to be, you're stretched every angle, right? It's a time to really sit down and say, am I just not motivated? Why? So, why is what we need to figure it out ourselves. And in discovering the why and the discomfort, you will say, you know what I want to be this person over here. I'm this person here, but I want to be this person here. And take time. Hey friends, this is Vinney Chopra. Thank you for liking the episodes that we bring, the guests in our podcast. Please do go to vinneychopra.com and free benefits so that you could get a lot of good things, goodies, all that. And also please follow Gualter and I do a show, Abundance Mindset, on Thursday morning live, which is on 9 a.m. Pacific, and also Vinney and Bo show, which we also go live on Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. See you on the other episode. Take care. Enjoy this show.
Welcome back, Alchemists. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney Smile Chopra. Vinney, welcome back, brother. How is everything going in California?
Everything is great, brother. Outside it's 58 degrees. Not too bad, not too bad. But I just came upstairs in the yoga room and I said, let's do the elliptical. That way it gives me some good exercise as well as,
So you're in the yoga room. This morning I was in the yoga studio and I was thinking, as we were doing yoga, I was thinking, man, like I am so blessed to have amazing mentors, right? I've been here, I've gotten here because the people who were, I'm standing on their shoulders, right? Like you're one of them. And I had guys really early in my career. I had my dad at the beginning of my life. And it seems like a theme. So Wealth Principle 30, I talk about people this all the time. People are like, hey man, how'd you get so successful? And I just asked really smart people, really rich people, really healthy people, really happy people, how they got to where they got. But you actually sent me some notes. I've got almost 8, it looks like 10. So 10 different steps or suggestions and reasons why mentors are so important. Vinney, welcome back, and let's dive into this.
Thank you, brother.
Who was your first mentor, if you can remember them?
Oh my gosh, if I remember correctly, my very first mentor was my junior high teacher. He took a lot of interest in me, brother, and he wanted me to succeed. That's the biggest thing I can remember. And he was so nice. He will teach me even after the class, any kind of questions I had. And then he wanted me to be number one. I still remember, like in chemistry and physics, the outside people had come. Can you believe it? I think sometimes you remember them back, right? And I scored number one, and he was so elated. And he says, oh my gosh, I knew that you have it in you, blah, blah, right? Very nice. So that's my early on. I think my dad was also a very big mentor of mine because he was a disciplinarian. If he really didn't hold those schools every night after dinner, I wouldn't be where I am today. Then I say grandpa. My grandpa was a big mentor of mine who really believed in my success and wanted to give me everything possible. Actually, he paid for my air ticket because my parents didn't want me to come here. And then my uncle here who gave me sponsorship, and that made me just come alive into this country. After that, I've had lots of mentors, met some of them, Zig Ziglar, Wayne Dyer, Tony Robbins, of course, and Robert Kiyosaki on this side. But Jim Rohn, I didn't get a chance to meet, but he's been a big mentor of mine unknowingly. But I've read his books and listened to his tapes and all those things. And of course, lots of books. So there are a lot of mentors that way who have shaped my life.
So I noticed you mentioned your dad was a disciplinarian. So before we go into the technique of how to find a good mentor, let's discuss a little bit about the pain of not having mentors. Before we go into how to find them, why you need them, let's talk a little bit about the person who currently right now doesn't have a mentor in the space they want to go to. And you and I have agreed we're going to talk more towards that person who's super high net worth, that person who they've succeeded in many things, and they've succeeded in building business, they've succeeded in investments, they've succeeded in real estate maybe, but they're now looking to get more into the passive space. Maybe this is a high driver, high success person, and they're now looking to let go and get more into spending time with their family, making up for some of the years that they grinded for so long. Uh, how does a person who is really good at everything that they've ever touched, how do they decide it's time to find a mentor in like passive investing? And like you just went on vacation 3 times, I think 3 months total. How do
Yeah.
they realize to get to the space that you're at where you're really passively investing money instead of so actively investing and doing all the work and building all the businesses?
That's a very good question. Very good question. Again, one needs to really introspectively sit down and look at you have achieved so much. What's the money doing for you? Where is it standing? Or is it running or moving? I call it velocity of money is the key thing. See, inflation cuts it down, right? Our buying power. But the biggest thing for anybody who has achieved very big status and they are in millionaires, multimillionaires, to find ways and find mentors who they can really, I think, again, they can go in their circle to find out who are good ones. There are a lot of coaches, a lot of mentors out there. They're out for themselves. But you need to find somebody who's sincere, honest, doesn't charge you too much. I mean, there is some fee, right, in any kind of mentorship or in coaching. But find somebody who really sticks with your core, what your value system is, and you're able to get motivated, not to really meet with that mentor weekly or bi-weekly like that, and then feel, what, I don't want to meet that person. He gave me certain things.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to before we get into it, because you're giving away all the sauce. Before we give away the sauce, before we give away how to do it, how does a person identify it's time for them? So let me explain it. The question, because I
Mhm.
know it's a question I have, right? So how does it? Because I'm high ego, I'm very good at everything I touch, but I've been
Mhm.
blessed with mentors. But before I go and I look for one, there's usually a time of pain. There's usually a time of maybe I
Yes.
want to stay right where I'm at. Maybe I don't want to take on the next challenge. Maybe I don't want to take on any risk. What do you say to somebody who's in that state of comfort where maybe the money being in the bank is it feels better than the money
Mhm.
growing right now? Like maybe they're not really concerned about inflation. Maybe they're not really concerned about, the growth of their money. Maybe they're just sitting there saying, you know what, I made all the money, and they're in this Scrooge McDuck kind of space where they're just like happy swimming through the coins. Like how do you have that conversation with that person, or have you ever been to that space where you
Oh
knew
yeah.
you
Oh
should look
yeah.
for a mentor, but you're not ready to look yet?
Oh, totally, brother. I've been in many times in different parts of my life. The biggest thing is, even today, I'm not motivated with a lot of things, but I'm motivated with few things. That's very important. That's very important because as we get younger every year, our goals change, our value system changes. Now you're having baby come in, right? So all those things, and Bo just had a baby, right? My other partner. The key thing is there is time for plugging on with the relationships, family, basking in that time, and really enjoying that. And then there is a time, which could be after 3 months, 6 months, or whatever, to introspectively sit down and say, you know what? I have taken rest now. Let me go ahead and get focused on what's important. See, the biggest thing is we got to be doing what we love, not do what we hate. See, that's the biggest problem because if we have a lot of people say, I want to do, and I used to say that too. I want to do this, I'm capable of, right? But if you do one more thing with clarity and focus, that you really want to lead your life for the next 5 years or 10 years, then there's nothing to worry about. So it's that single-mindedness and clarity. But also Stephen Covey's book, Eighth Habit, I remember reading that book. I was going through some turmoil in my schedule and this thing, and everybody was stretching me. I had 37 consultants. I had to fly all over USA to train them and all that. And I said, you know what, God, give me some strength, how to do it. But that's when he talks about his daughter has baby coming up. So she was really wondering about appointment setting calendar or the compass. So Stephen Covey talks about in the book True North. So we should lead our life to true north all the time and let go of the calendar, let go of the appointments. But that is what's important. And then you enjoy. It takes 3 months, 6 months, whatever it takes. But we need to guide ourselves always to the passion so that it doesn't wear out. Every role we play is very important role.
True North is something you said to me. I want to say maybe it was the first time we did this principle 2 years ago, or it was maybe earlier in the principles. But I know you for about 2 years ago, you were saying True North almost every time you and I got on a phone. It was True North, and I think I think every time I asked you why you were going on that next vacation or why you're spending more time with your family, and that's where it kept coming up. So this is a principle that the mentorship of a person, and I'll share this for everybody who's on the call. Mentorship and coaching are different. Masterminds are different. I tell everybody that a coach will get you to what you want to accomplish. A mentor will get you to what they have. And a
Mhm.
mastermind is the people you work with to go and reach those targets and those goals. Mentorship, finding the mentors really is important to have your true north, because when you know your true north, you just look for people who already have it, right? That's the strategy where true north comes into place. It's the mentor has to already have exactly what true north is in order for them
Yes.
to be the right mentor.
Having achieved and know the path and the real path and what kind of problems they went through. See, a lot of time coaches may be able to teach you and skill set and everything
Right.
short term so that you can be better and better. We always say the players get better than the coaches, and it's a good thing. And the mentors are the ones who have reached that pinnacle and they want to bring people under so that they could reach them same height or even past them. But the key thing I find in mentorship is the better relationship. It's not a disciplinarian relationship at all. It's a give and take, clarity, it's the confidence. It's really personally and professionally making life better and happier.
I
That's
like
what
this. This is the clarity that I think so many people, when they read this principle, they see get around the right mentors, they confuse it for a coach or they
yeah.
confuse it for a trainer. You actually just talked about another confusing piece, the people who have courses, right? The people who have just a course, that's a training. And then there's the other one is the masterminds, and they're all in this space. But a
Mhm.
mentor, they're not, it's not an abusive relationship, whereas a coach kind of should be. A coach is an
Yeah.
abusive relationship.
Yes, yes,
And that's a
yes.
different situation, right? So the mentor has
Yeah.
really got what you want already, and you're going to them. Mentorship's like you go to them and you ask them questions. Whereas with a coach, they're asking you questions. Hey, what did you
Yes.
do? How did you do it? Why didn't you get it done? What can you do better? Like
Mhm.
it's coaching is a very different space. Mentorship
Yes.
is a very different space. And then training is another space where it gets confused because you've got people who have training programs and they call them mentorship programs. You have people who have training programs, they call them coaching programs, they call them mastermind programs. And what we're talking about in Principle 30 is really a true mentorship. This is a person who has what you want already and is
Yeah.
willing to give you the information to get there, answer your questions, give you the information to get there. So awesome. So thank you for dialing that in. That's so
I
important
mean,
to express.
the biggest thing I find in mentorship is since the mentors have reached their pinnacle, they have
Right.
gone through ups and downs, they have seen the negatives and the positives, and that's what they can share experiences and empathize, sympathize, everything, but lead the people, the mentee, to a better path every week, every month, every like that, so that they are growing professionally and personally and feeling good about what person they are becoming.
Yes. Vinny, now the secret sauce. Now that we know that if we find our true north, then we just look for mentors who have what we want. Now that we know
Mhm.
how to find it, and if we are not moving forward, it's probably because we haven't looked in ourselves and said, hey, what's true north again? Because true north should always keep you moving, right? If we're not moving, we're complacent, we need a mentor. If we don't know where we want to go, we can't get a mentor. It doesn't make any sense. You need to find true north. So first, always be moving, find true north, find the mentor. That's this next step. How do you find or how do you approach a mentor? And I know this, you gave me all sorts of notes, and you're going through all of these as we're doing it. So I don't have to go through all the list here because you literally are bringing this through every one of them. How do you find that next? This is your 10th one is attracting the right mentors? How do you
Attracting.
attract
Yeah,
versus attack, right? It seems like a lot of people are
I
like,
know
will you mentor
exactly.
me? Will you mentor me? Like, how do you get people to mentors to come to you or be attracted to the opportunity to work
That's
with
a
you?
very good point. I would say that once you have clarity of purpose, what kind of person and professionally and personally you want to become, then you seek out, because I always have believed what we want to achieve, what I want to achieve even bigger, somebody's done it. Somebody's better and somebody's the path, the blueprint. They can give it on a silver platter. It costs some money. So we should be willing to pay for the time that the mentor or a coach gives, because the biggest problem we find is many times the media and the social media and everything and all these different links in Google, they just take you from whatever you want to learn from here to there to there, and nobody gives you the real deal. They just tell you do this, but you got to have a good solid track so that you could have exponential growth, linear growth, exponential growth. And exponential growth only comes with coaches or mentors. If you're individual and you feel like, you know what, I don't want to invest $5,000, guess what? You're losing $5 million, because it's going to take time and effort, and you'll make blunders and things like that. That's what I say.
Now that
But look
we're, oh,
for,
sorry.
yeah,
Now that
yeah,
we're talking
no,
about the cost of mentorship, let's put it in a scale of the other three things we compared it to, right? So you got training, which is very cheap, very affordable. It's 3-day
yes,
events, it's online courses. You got training, very cheap. Then you
yep,
have coaching at the very high end. Coaching is like for your coaching, I think you only take on 2 or 3 people a year. It's $100,000 a year, right? That's
100,000 a year.
very
Yes,
intensive
yes,
on your part, so you charge quite a bit.
yes.
But it's very cheap compared to Tony Robbins, right? So you're very affordable, Vinny. And so that's your coaching is 100 grand. I know your online course is about $1,000, depending on the course that is being offered. You have different ranks. And then you have your mastermind, which is more expensive. It's less
10,000.
expensive than coaching.
Yeah.
And then you have your mentorship program. And what is your mentorship program?
Now, mentorship program, 25,000.
25.
25.
So
So I
the
just take only
mastermind is at
12.
10, and then the mentorship program is at 25, and then the coaching is at 100,000. So
One-on-one coaching and mentoring together, where I handhold my mentees and take them to the place they have never been. So that's
and
why.
why and I know for anybody who's listening, is wow, we're talking about some really expensive programs that are totally unaffordable.
Yeah.
Ease up on that. Think about the structure here. Courses are cheap.
Mhm.
Mentorship is very powerful. It's the next step above education. Now there's tactical strategy. And then you have,
Yes.
I'm sorry, you have masterminds, which is
Mastermind.
networks. Then you have the mentorship, which is strategy. And then you have finally the coaching, which is that accountability that really like practically forces you to get into it. So that tier, is that everywhere? Do you find that to be everywhere? Like
You
first you need
know,
to have a little bit of
I
knowledge, then people, and then strategy, and then finally accountability.
would really like to say there is a correlation I found when I was giving my course for free. People didn't really think what was inside. When you get something for free, you don't have that commitment. You don't have that drive. You feel like it's fluff. It's this, that, right?
Especially now with
When you,
social media, it's all free, right? Everybody's
oh,
teaching for free. There's
oh my
no,
gosh.
yeah, no, you can put the best stuff together and nobody values it.
Exactly. When people win 10,000 weekly coaching, I've been doing it for 7 years every Wednesday. I love it. It's the best 1.5, 2 hours. I used to do 2 hours. We cut it down to 1.5 hours. It's exciting. It's so much fun. And everybody's coming there. Those who paid 10,000, they have stake, they have skin in the game, and they show up and they want to do better things and analysis and all that. Now, 100,000 ones, guess what? Once they make appointments, they are there. They are totally, because they
They
are
never miss,
vested.
do they, Vinny?
Never. Flexibility is there. If there is, I'm on vacation or something, and there we could plan out the times, no problem. That's the beauty of it. I find if I had not given 130,000, I think, borrowed money, by the way, for me to be getting trained and my team, I've recorded it many times. I took 5 people with my partner to coaching, right? Mentorship. And 3 of them fizzled out, two first week, They said, oh my gosh, it's too bad. I don't have time, all that. So there goes my $40,000 down the drain, right? But it was $30,000 then. But that 30,000 taught me so much that I'm reaping the benefits.
Now you have billions of dollars worth of properties under management. You have partners who have very large amounts as well. So Vinney, we got 2 minutes left. For the person who is either seeking a mentor or they've got great mentors, what advice would you give to a person to maximize and leverage, get the most out of that relationship, the most out of the mentorship relationship that they have? And Jonathan, I see you jumping in. Just give me 2 minutes.
Sure.
Hop out and back in.
Hi
You can stay right there. I'm
Hi
just going to
there,
hide the
John.
camera
How
for a
are
moment.
Hey, Vinney.
Hey, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. So,
Good to
no,
see
you're
you.
right. The biggest thing is it has to come internally. If your business is standstill, if your life is standstill, if you think the relationships are not where you want to be, you're stretched every angle, right? It's a time to really sit down and say, am I just not motivated? Why? So why is what we need to figure it out ourselves. And in discovering the why and the discomfort, you will say, you know what I want to be this person over here. I'm this person here, but I want to be this person here. And take time. The best time ever we can always spend is time with us. In a library, in the park, taking a plain sheet of paper and a pen. And that's when the real need comes then. And you say, you know what? I want to be this person over here. It needs to be this characteristics. Then find the mentor. Then go out and research and talk. Don't take first mentor. Oh, I like this. No. Go ahead and look through it. And then you decide.
That is
Get
exactly
committed.
what I want to hear. Get committed, go all in.
Yeah, go all in, brother. Nothing happens in life if we don't go all in. Every relationship that we do, we have to go all in with as a husband, as a brother, as a uncle or cousin, all that, right? Citizen, CEO, everything. Yeah.
So for everybody who's listening, we are going to have Vinney Chopra at this year's Business and Real Estate Summit in Orlando, October 18th to the 20th. Here's a fun incentive. Every single person who enters one of our live in-person events this month is going to get entered into a drawing to win a ticket. Now, each one of our event leaders has been approved to give away one ticket to an attendee each month. So the person who wins is obviously the person who checks in at the front. And we can't wait to see you there at the summit. This is a free ticket to the best event of the year. And every Thursday at 9 a.m. PST, 12 p.m. EST, you get to hang out with me and Vinney talking about the wealth principles. One more time, Vinney, just take us out of here, brother. Give us a little piece of love on our way out.
I would say take action. I always say that. You've got to take action. A lot of ideas come in our mind, but they die. When we go to bed, we have a new idea next day. But if there is a good thing, if you want to get a mentor, decide on that. You've been thinking about it on the sideline. You can't afford or whatever. But you know what? You cannot afford not to have it, because what they will bring to you 100 times or 1,000 times, it's going to be mind-boggling.
That is the truth. Cheers to your success. This is Abundance Thursdays every Thursday, 9 a.m. at PST, 12 p.m. EST. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. Go to alchemistnation.com, follow the 3 steps, and get your Millionaire Path report. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey there! The upcoming episode is scheduled for Thursday. We appreciate your viewership of the Abundance Mindset Show. Tune in every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 12 p.m. Eastern on various social media platforms hosted by Vinney Chopra and Gualter Amarelo. Don't forget to subscribe, share your comments, and leave a 5-star review. Thank you for your support.